Oh, I forgot to even open chat after this run. I was banking on nothing, but also I couldn't stop thinking about the fact I didn't have chat open. I couldn't focus. Okay. I'm gonna have to refresh the source, but I don't have time to do that before this session for chat to show up on screen. And I double counted the turn there somehow. I'd like to see if I could get to 100. That would be called a successful session for me, probably. That was dumb. There was a clear gap right next to that. I'm not blinking at good rates. Like, my eyes are feeling dry way too soon. Which might sound like a dumb thing, but like these are actually things I need to solve. Endurance challenge things, you know? I need to close this, then refresh. Where is it? Axle chat properties, refresh cache. There we go. What's up, Truffle? It's okay first run, almost 20%. Or maybe technically barely 20%. That's usually what I can get to somewhat often, or like pretty often, not somewhat, pretty often. I can get 20%, but that's not nearly good enough. I like want to shift my keyboard so much. Like, I'm never sitting, actually in years, I've never felt like I've been able to sit comfortably. I need to fucking fidget like constantly. I'm sorry, it's like complaining, but like, just so you understand, like, I don't know if anyone doesn't relate to this or if everybody's like this or most people are, not that many people are, but oh my, like, my senses are distracting as fuck. especially touch. My keyboard, like, there's a theoretical, like, ideal position ergonomically for everything, and I've changed things so much, and nothing has ever felt ergonomically perfect. And if it ever did feel good once, like, the next day it won't feel the same. Like, there's no consistent every day. I'm never satisfied with it. Welcome back, Infinity. Good luck with night attempts whenever you do them, dumb man. I know you can do it, but you got time. Endurance challenges are terrible. I mean, especially when it's like this, when it's like, the more simple it is, because this is very repetitive. If it was like a dense, long run where every, like, the end is night, for example, if I was trying to do max percent deathless, every screen is different. Like, yeah, sometimes I have to do, like, the same cart twice, but it's not really back to back. I'm having to execute, like, a different strategy, and it's different visual stimulus the whole way through, and it's not the same like muscle movements, you know, obviously per screen to avoid the obstacles. But with this, the stimulus is so nearly identical repetitively over and over again that those issues get exacerbated even more so. I can do it though. And as much as I'd like to admit that this isn't the case, I do have like a slight feeling of this might be a stupid challenge. Why am I even doing this? Even though, like, super majority feeling primarily, I am interested in this. I mean, interested isn't the perfect word, but I do want to do this. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually good enough yet. And I don't know what the way to most directly improve is. I believe you me, I have done so much individual Stars 3 repetition practice. Welcome back, Igor and Vivstart. I gotta turn my ceiling fan up a bit. I feel like I have a new, like, strat structure for Stars 3 again. Hasn't been falsified yet. Like, yeah. We will see if patterns can emerge that render it useless to me. Hell yeah, Vivstar. Glad I could put you onto that. What am I doing? I tried to change the ceiling fan and then, like, pressed the wrong button, but then proceeded the fight and then went back to push the button anyways. And I'm sorry if the, like, with the retries, the music is going to get repetitive. It is an old Knee 12, if you're familiar, mix. It's a YouTube channel that used to, well, I'm sure still does, upload, like, not... I'm embarrassed to say it out loud, just straight up, but it's like dubstep, just subgenre mixes. I liked them a lot when I was younger. And I mean, I still do. I don't actively go looking for it anymore. But this is one that actually got deleted, and someone there is a re-upload, fortunately, and maybe I could have found it elsewhere, off of YouTube. But it's called The Dreamer, which I find very fitting. But it's by far like my favorite and most nostalgic mix. So and it's an hour long exactly, or it's like not exactly. It's a little like 2 minutes over at most, but I'm pretty sure it's like 101 something, or like 1 minute 46, maybe? That's what's sticking out in my mind. So it's like perfect length. No repeat songs. I'll be able to tell how far I am relative. And it should take longer to get tiring, unless I reset too often the early stuff. I accidentally pressed stop recording instead of increment my count. Wait, I don't even, yeah, I double counted at some point. Now it's accurate, I think. Or I forgot to count a bunch of times just because this might be phase 3. Yeah, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no, that would be 11 now. Jeez. I'll just rip the highlight, or I'll download the YouTube VOD. If this is the run. But there's like a less than 1% chance that it is. The stars one that has less projectiles but has the stars exploding while they are launching. I'd have to take longer to imagine accurately what that is. I can't immediately process the words. Do I want to X move on the tunnel? I don't think so. The tap moving makes me feel a little more in control when it comes to getting into tight gaps for the sword strike. If there's one thing I wish I could skip, it is this part every time. It's like, it's just time waste non-threat practically. Oh, a taunt mechanic on the... What the fuck am I doing? I promise I didn't get hit because I was talking. But I wasn't focused either way. But a taunt mechanic on the knight would be interesting. Let's see. Has the stars exploding while they're launching? Oh, I see. Instead of like getting reeled back. I don't know how it could be predictable. It depends on like the speed of everything. But that, yeah, that could be cool. Or a decent remix. As far as like fusion attacks, they have to be carefully crafted because I've seen some bad combinations of attack concepts in the Knight or in Knight mods before. I haven't experienced them. I've just seen them in demo videos, and some just don't work. So like, it would have to, everything would. I mean, and maybe this is implied already within what you're saying, but any combo attack would have to be greatly tested and fine-tuned to be fair, especially when it comes to like tracking swords combined with almost anything. You got to be very careful that there's not like a decent potential for impossible scenario, because it forces like a rhythm of movement. But if there's stuff that like doesn't follow a rhythm, it could overlap in a bad way. Anyways, but overall, I've also seen very well done. Violet Knight is a great example. Well done fusion attacks. This might be like a total hopium way of looking at this, but if I get a run that's far, I just feel like it's likely to go way far. Because I must already be like very warm and like in good flow state, or like in a good state of focus. If I get far in the first place, it's just a matter of that not falling away mid-run. Well, when I put it like that, I always feel like I'm not really grasping on to focus. I don't even know how I maintain. Yeah, focus is enigmatic. I really don't know how to hold on to it. I think framing it that way mentally might not even be beneficial or useful at all. The less you think about it, the better, maybe. I guess focus just means paying attention to the game elements and just being conscious of where I want to move and like what real life movements I need to perform that translate in the moves I want to make. Though I never have to do it like that, never feels that separate to me at this point. But there is a way I can sort of sense it all at once and be more in tune. It's hard to explain. Hey, Shy. I hope you enjoyed Deltarune, assuming you're done. I pressed two keys at the same time. Am I good with nerves though? It's fluctuated historically, challenge to challenge. Overall, I've thought that I remember, I'd say more often than not, feeling like I lean towards being worse when it comes to nerves. Yet, and I only have a couple examples of this, but when it comes to like a long endurance challenge, if it's already something I think I can do, somehow the nerves play less of a factor when it's a really long run. Which seems ironic, but maybe not. Don't talk. What? Yeah, it would be nearly 50 phases. Actually, no, it would be like... exactly. Or no, nearly. Actually? Because I think I remember calculating... I don't remember if it's 48 phases overall, or if it's... I repeat phase 3 48 times. I mean, if it was 250 turns and 5 turns per phase, like, that's what... I don't care anymore. Oh, wow. I think I'm gonna do X moving permanently on phase 2 swords. It is the most effective way. I don't really know why I got hit there. I thought I was moving in the right direction. I guess I was too close to an edge, which I don't understand why that causes me to get hit if I'm moving in the right manner sometimes. But the X moving diagonally solves for all of that, so... And that's good to hear, Shy. Oh, what the f... I pressed wrong key again. Okay, I'm gonna focus dip. I didn't reset. Probably gonna change the music after this run. It's too much of the same. That's really good, Shy. Wow. I can't remember if you told me that. This boss is extremely fun in that way, though. Once you gain a high level of competency, it's fun to just play around with this thing. If you are so inclined, that is. Oh, what am I? I'm gonna switch to practice mode for a moment. When I start to suck, I have to learn to force myself to take a break of some kinds. I might even switch to windowed mode just to make something different. I was doing it earlier and it made Stars 3 like a lot of the time feel more comprehensible. But this, on the same token, it made it feel a little weird. I think it could be, I could get used to it quickly though. Like it wouldn't feel that much different. Was it just mental, or was it actually easier? Well, playing in windowed mode? It's just that like more of the problem with Stars 3 is that the afterlife bullets, the ones that like target you after the stars explode, the ones in the outermost limits of the screen can, like, if you're making like a quick run around the box, or however you're moving, the farthest away bullets can blend in with like the mass of bullets, and it can just like snipe you from far away, and you didn't even notice it was on course to intersect where you were going. That's a lot of words, but when the screen is smaller, more of it is in your focused vision, like it's not so far out into your peripheral vision. So it's way easier to accurately tell where the bullets are going. Like, I'm pretty sure, just because like the visuals are condensed, it makes like the straggler or like potential sniper outer bullets more visible. Knightmare is just it's just a clever. Well, you don't have to call it clever, but just a little funny, cheeky play on words, yeah. And because Neverending Night is a song. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, wait, there's no... I'll have to put on something to break the silence. And I am playing on windowed mode, you just wouldn't be able to tell. I have a game capture and a window capture. I just hide one. Let's just listen to chapter 5. Cannot go wrong. So my... What? I don't even know what I ran into. I don't know how you could you could meaningfully ramp up the phase difficulty that many times without it getting insane. There's like some Flash game that I can't remember the name of where it's like the same level, but it just progresses in difficulty. Like it gets more obstacles and hazards added to it slowly every time you beat it. And there's like some narrator that's like rooting for your downfall or something. It's not called Never Give Up, I don't think. This is the only level. Oh, yeah. I think that's the one. If it was like super incremental, like you could probably stretch it out and make it possible. That's the only way it could be achieved, I think, and still be fair. Anyways, we'll see if I can speak of the way that I am processing this attack as of today. So I've decided I want to start from as low in the bottom left as I can again. And then once the first bullets in the top right turn red, I go straight up if I can. I will divert slightly to the right diagonally if I must, but more or less trying to go straight up. And then I will cut hard and commit fully to a right hold to all the way to the right edge at the soonest gap that I perceive. I was not like trying to dodge that last one. So I accidentally pressed a different number. Let's go back, 3QP. So can I say that in less words? Try to start in this bottom left, go as like straight up as I can. On that pattern, I basically had to go all the way up. Maybe there was a cutaway point to the right sooner. But pretty much if you can tap up a little bit for like even a couple seconds, you'll be, that's all the time you need to then have a easy right hold path all the way. Because nothing, I don't think anything can hit you if you're doing what I describe. When you hold right, if you cleared the gap, there's no way anything could hit you. And I haven't fully understood why, but it seems like nothing even gets close to you. Couldn't really do it on that one. Okay, well, let's see if I can focus up again. I used to speedrun that game? Whoa. Have I not mastered the phases after last challenge? Not at all. The strategy I was doing with holding, I mean, assuming we're talking about me and like the holding X challenge, the way I'm having to dodge this or think about it is way different. For that, I only needed to get past the attacks once. This, I'm aiming for like ultra mastery level consistency and the best strategy I could have, the safest, most effective, most difficulty nullifying, like bullet density decreasing pathing I can do. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think there's a one path, because like I'm experiencing patterns where as soon as I try to force whatever model I have for simplifying the situation, it just doesn't map onto every situation. And I know this is like the 20th time I've said this and scrapped an idea. Every time I practice attack for like more than 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I don't know anything. I have to wing it every time. Should I just stick in the middle? Should I just forget literally everything ever and just start from the middle and then vibe it out if I need to move elsewhere and dodge around the box? Well, also I need to remember to move as little as possible. That was something I was doing in practice that I forgot. The less, okay, but then sometimes moving less, like some big straggling bullets like really are inconvenient. So it's like that's where moving faster comes in clutch. But if I move too fast, then there's like way more straggling bullets that want to get in my way that I feel like I'm not convincingly dodging safely. Like, it looks like I don't have it under control. I want it to look but more importantly, feel like I have it under control. And I have not been able to develop a method where I'm like fully satisfied for even like 20 turns of this. Infinite tries for each attack. That could be interesting. I would have to see that done. Because when it comes to something where like randomness is involved, I don't know how absurd the difficulty could, or like the patterns could get. Like, or if you're intended to have infinite tries, it's got to be ridiculously hard. But is the difficulty still fair? Often, that's my question. With Celeste, it's completely deterministic, and you're in full control. With this, you have to like leverage understanding of the attack and how the randomness works in order to achieve consistency. If you don't have that, you're kind of helpless and you just have to like react. If I had infinite tries at a really difficult attack that like somehow I was struggling to ever get past, it would have to have very limited randomness. I would think. I don't know. But then then it would have to be based on like precision. And I do wonder how like super tight precision, how fun super tight precision would be. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting concept. Hasn't been explored yet, I don't think. I would, but like, yeah, mainly I'm intrigued as to like what could come about from like how hard attacks you could make if you got checkpoints of any kind. I didn't even try to dodge. No. That's trying to force it too much. On one hand, I would love to wipe my memory on this, and that actually might be beneficial. But nah, there is some like subconscious understanding I have of this that isn't insignificant, that does help. There's no structure to this shit. I have to have a more... have to have a more broad idea that can apply to actually every situation. But it's hard to more specifically define. Because depending on where the gaps are between the bullets and like the shape or like the traceable path in the void between the bullets, I need to see that and understand the differences between attack iterations and like what those gaps mean for what dodges I have to do. I don't know if that made any sense. Basically, like I've said a bunch of times in different language, I need to be able to see the bullet, like the way the bullets are laid out, and before I even start dodging, understand like what my path is going to be, ideally what pace I have to take as well. But is that even possible? I don't think I so accurately am seeing that or understanding that ahead of time right now. I'm able to sort of wing it and have it not be like terribly close every time, but it always feels like, oh, not always, but often it's like closer, it's a little too close for comfort, or not too close, but I mean, I guess that's fine. I'm trying to find a lighter way of phrasing that, but whatever, it works. Show to the camera finger fight between your hands. I can't do it. I can't do it. I actually might do this for 2 hours. I think this is what I need. Unironically, what I need is to play this over and over and over and over and over again. Because this is really the only problem. Everything else, I know I'm more consistent at. Hello, Commander Greg. It's at least a little fun. It will get more fun the more, like, practical success becomes. And perhaps, sadly, the only way for that to be achieved is for me to retry this attack over and over again and try to grasp for greater conscious understanding, meta-analysis of the pattern, of like the pattern differences between attack iterations and what they mean for how I should approach dodging overall. The challenge description is in the gray text on the left side of the screen. I think that pretty much spells it out. but what I'm doing right this moment is practice. I did not reflect in the title that I would be practicing, but I don't like the title to be too long. And I did intend to attempt more when I started, but I needed some form of break because I just wasn't getting to a satisfactory level of farness or depth in the fight. Off stream, like last week, I was able to get to 70 turns, actually what felt like pretty often, and that is not even like happening now. But 70 still is like barely scratching the surface of what I need. No, you're good, Verse. I didn't mean to, I hope I didn't come off mean. I wasn't trying to. But I do conveniently, I'm glad I made that. I do conveniently have that. Try to make as many of the bullets shoot in run direction as possible. And the way to do that is just stay on one side for as long as possible. So, I mean, I haven't really experimented. I think I need to start getting more experimental and doing things that aren't necessarily trying to dodge the full attack, but maybe sort of unorthodox movement paths that I'm just trying to see what happens with. And maybe seeing what happens in these like different extremes that I would never actually try will fill in some gaps and make it clearer, make something clearer. So obviously I needed to dodge one bullet there. Like, yeah, let me just see. Like, on average, if I'm like holding X and I'm waiting the longest time to move, how many bullets do I have to dodge horizontally? What if I'm in... Alternatively, I can choose a spot on the bottom where nothing is directly above and wait the longest time to start moving. I don't think this could work 100% of the time. And like a dense pattern like this, there's always something above me. This surprisingly works out pretty well. I like your ideas, Infinity. I'm sorry I'm not engaging with every one of your comments. But I agree, it's like, that would be an overwhelming project. It's like, it is fun to think about and imagine if it was real, like actually would be so cool. But the amount of work is a lot. That's an understatement. Good luck on finishing your project though. Don't get the point of no hit doesn't give you anything special. No, you don't like get rewarded directly. I mean, besides like get a line of dialogue. I don't do challenges for the reward mainly. It's hard. I could talk for like an hour guessing as to why I do these things, but mainly it's just satisfying to get to a level of mastery on something. Like it almost feels like dancing or like some kind of performance, like choreographed. I like the planning, the strat, like the practice, the strat, planning, finding, choreography of everything. When it all flows, like all the effort you put in condensed into one run, where it just like people not in the know, it like looks easy to. I like that shit. And those in the know are like, wow. Hello, space. Only fun if you finish the no-hit, rest is agony. Fair to look at it that way. I'm not the best at enjoying the process fully, but I think the more I've done challenges, the more I've been able to enjoy the process. I definitely like... My favorite part is trying to find strategies. Like having your own ideas of how to make something consistent for you or easier, and it working, is such a gratifying feeling. And it's then once you start putting it into runs, and then especially once you finish the run, and it's built of things that you came up with, it makes it like extra personal. I don't know, like it's pretty cool, but you have to be inclined to it in a certain way, drawn to it already in a certain way. Most people are averse to it, and do not force yourself. If it's agony, if you hate practicing, if you can't find it to be fun, then like, by all means, do not force yourself. It's an editor of the vanilla maps with invisible obstacles to enforce tasks out of that map. What? Holy shit. I don't even know what I think about that. It's at least neat. I don't... Practice. We talking about practice, not the game practice. I gotta ponder on that one. Or is it meant to be said, not the game, practice? Let me just... I haven't imagined this attack in my head enough. Because I think if I did for long enough, I would reach fundamental understandings faster. I need to put some concepts into words, even if it might even be something I've said before. Oh, okay. I got you. I'm bad at catching references or knowing them. So, oh, it's intended to be toned down just enough for a human to do. Oh, I see. That is at least a neat, unique idea. You tend to have those. Okay. Is there truly a best starting point in the box? The closer to an edge I am, the less the bullets like travel through the middle, and thus the less likely they are to intersect my dodging path. If I'm going along the edge, the idea is that I transition into a perpendicular direction, which should not intersect with an incoming bullet unless... Well, I don't think there's any way I can prevent that from potentially happening. The only way I can prevent it is by changing my rate of speed in response to seeing a bullet about to intersect my path. I don't think there's a fundamental one-size-fits-all way I can dodge around the box. Yeah, no, there's just not. I can't leverage that understanding. One thing I haven't tried in a while and I want to look at again is starting from bottom left and trying to go as directly upright as possible, but like slowly. What was I doing there? That gets overwhelming and something could easily just be pointing directly at me from bottom left. I haven't tried starting up and going down. Being on right side has felt awful the times I've tried. The bullets change too quickly and you have to weave through worse gaps even than the one starting left. I mean, let me see. That wasn't the best attempt. Like, even starting bottom right, that's like the worst. Unless I need to move less around the box. Start bottom left, then go up right. Oh, right, that's what I was... yeah, at what point do I go down, though? In the pattern. I mean, I guess when I'm forced to, right? That is... Okay, this is something I have done before. And it's felt like it worked. When does it not? It's definitely feeling dense. Though... not too bad so far. Seeming comprehensible. You can't really go wrong with going top right either, because that's the most guaranteed, or that's guaranteed to be the... How do I phrase this? Like, I'm guaranteed to have space there by the time I reach the top right. Like, I'm reaching around the bullet pattern completely the fastest and most directly by going upright. Because the upright bullets are the ones that change first. So I can get behind the pattern as soon as possible. And that is good for safety. Okay. I'm liking this general approach. Once again. I'm not doing my best to try. Oh, I didn't respond. Congrats, Grung, on beating the knight. And it is okay if you struggle. Overcoming any struggle is always worth being proud of. And not saying you do this, but like comparing to other people's skill does not. It is a very quick road to unhappiness and or just discontentment in general, which is a super cliche. Like it's nothing new. The thief of joy. Not all people's paths to improvement are even terribly painful always. It could be slow and gradual, or someone liked a certain kind of game since childhood and just gravitated permanently towards stuff like that, and they pretty much never had to like poignantly struggle or go through like a terrible grind to skill boost. Like it was just a gradual improvement over many years. Have a nice one, Infinity. How about this? Default to upright. Try holding X, but adjust as needed. And the idea is to drop down eventually. Going up fast and making the gap smaller. Fair. I need to be a lot more conscious about like delaying when I go up. Yeah, like see how easy it can be on certain patterns when I just wait till just about the last second to move. Good shout, Truffle. Okay, that was a pattern where literally couldn't force myself to go upright. I had to instead go up. That was a little hard to read, even though it ultimately wasn't scary. Maybe I should hold up. Nah, it depends on the layout of the bottom left bullets. It just really does. Like, what about... Yeah. I was gonna say holding up and then cutting down right at a certain point. What about... trying to move right at least a little bit within my up movement. And then cutting down right or straight down, depending. I did have a series of dodges where I went from bottom corner to bottom corner. But, like completing a triangle shape. So going diagonal into diagonal. That was seeming to be somewhat promising, but I don't think it can, again, work every time. I do wonder how much of a difference, like, waiting the maximum amount of time to start moving can be, though. I think it can make a significant difference. And maybe I should stray away from the X holding. Having a bit more control in the tap movement and being able to more so fluidly on a dime do a swift move. It's probably more beneficial. More flexibility. I didn't really like that pattern. I've also seen... What? Wow. Trying to move straight across in a slow manner. That seems greatly simplifying much of the time. And the height I choose to be on the left wall is dependent on where the gaps lie across from me. Can I stop going through the tightest gaps, though? In the beginning? And in this practice session, I have not been locked in on any occasion when it was like a dense pattern where I need to react to, like, there's a bunch of, right before the stars explode, there's just bullets aiming at me and I need to move out of the way immediately. I've not been locked in on a single occasion. It is doable if I'm forced into a gap where it's not blank space and stuff are aiming at me. It's possible to get out. I just have to use a little bit more brain power. Sort of that. Yeah, extending the... I mean, obviously I have more distance horizontally, and extending this... well, is easier for that reason. And moving as one-dimensional as possible truly makes it impossible for bullets to intersect my forward path. And depending on the bullet spread, I might be able to cut through and past bullets in a way that makes things easier in the middle of the pattern. Like, I don't need to go above every bullet in the pattern. I can be selective. Maybe I should try doing some X holding. I want to see what difference that makes. Wow. Yeah, minimizing the amount of directions I go makes it way more comprehensible of where the bullets could end up. Yeah, X holding... I don't know why I'm like a bit hesitant to do it. I've just had some scenarios where it felt like it got me in a bad spot. But I think with good reactions, I can just let go of X and get to relative safety. And I think I've forgotten to start moving later. I'm still moving pretty late, but I'm not moving the latest. And there's probably reasons I don't always want to move the latest. But generally, it's most beneficial, too. This is working very well. Like, it is quite comprehensible this way. I can't believe, like, my decision to commit to down left could not have been a more unfortunate time there. And I absolutely had time to react. I do not know why I didn't have the impulse to dodge. I felt it, but it wasn't strong, so nothing moved. I'm starting in the left middle. I was more thinking of going from like left edge to right edge, and the height isn't so important. I'm kind of subconsciously choosing depending on like where I think I have space. Could I go from bottom edge to... Going from bottom corner to opposite bottom corner. I don't know. I don't think that's what you're suggesting. But I haven't really looked into that too much. It's just straight not possible a lot of the time. Yeah. Okay, I just needed to see. I didn't think it was good. Yeah, I'd rather go one-dimensional, or like truly just holding a horizontal direction, or just vertical. Like, the diagonals don't seem to be good at the beginning, or like committing fully to holding diagonally for extended period. I don't know if that's the play. I can't really understand why. It just seems to make bullets get in the way more. See, in that case, like, I couldn't really extend going up very long. Like, I had to move over quite quick because of how close and quick behind me that bullet was. I think I like being in the left middle. Like, actually being centralized might actually be a good thing if I can help it. It makes the most things pass through the middle. And for some reason, that is better. It's close. It is close. But I am, like, conscious of being able to make these gaps. I'll see. I'll continue to see here. What if I get, like... Okay, don't go to the top. Because, yeah, bullets can just be in the way. I just need to make sure I'm below... or not directly in line. Yeah, forget anything I was about to say. It's obvious, and I was already doing it. Oh. Thanks, Guan. And now I'm thinking being, like, at the left edge. Actually, it doesn't matter. Like, no. I think oftentimes it simplifies things the most when I start from max left edge. However, the patterns can often work just as well, or seemingly just as well, or not that much worse anyways, if I'm slightly pulled away from the left wall. This is practice, yeah. I was having a dry streak, messing up early and not feeling focused, so I went back to practicing what I need to practice. I don't think I'm practically consistent enough to have a high hope of success quite yet. I'm gonna have to play this attack like 10,000 times, and that's not an exaggeration. I wish it was. Thanks for the reminder, Truffle. Okay, move later. Can I get away with... I'm just feeling it out still. This is working quite a lot, though. The way that pattern was didn't seem nice for what I was doing, and I didn't let things clear up before I saw where it was safe to move through there. That was dumb. I initially thought I wanted to get under that bullet, but then the timing of its targeting was a little earlier than I was thinking. I'm sort of tweaking what I'm doing again for experimental purposes. Yes, indeed. All-timer. Hello, Aubrey. Alright, I'm erasing thoughts of dodging structure again. I just have a toolkit of ideas that I can choose to employ case by case. But I don't know when is most appropriate to whip out which strategy. I don't think I could ever find out. This is my worst attack, and I think most people would find to be like the hardest attack. So I'm practicing this a lot. Start top right, then move to the middle, then wait. Then move to the middle, then move to the bottom after first things start targeting you. Hold on a second. Why'd I change keyboard? No good reason. I just tend to buy more keyboards than I need, if I'm being honest. But I was enticed by this one because it has a 32,000 hertz scan rate, so it's even more like raw one-to-one inputs, and technically like most responsive, even though it's that aspect isn't going to be like noticeable, and it is still limited by an 8,000 hertz polling rate USB connection. But I like knowing that I have the most, like the highest consistency and response time inputs possible, and this keyboard is that. Oh, also it has 0.5 millimeter less key travel, or it's 32,000 hertz scan rate. It's not the USB connection, it's the like the report rate of the, what is the keyboard's like, what MCU, whatever that acronym stands for. Like in simpler terms, like the keyboard's internal clock speed, a checking of its own inputs, which is the more important factor than the USB connection speed. I'm not performing your strat right, Truffle, sorry. My Switch actuation settings, I've tweaked them to hell and back, but I'll tell you what they are currently. It's a little different than, and this keyboard is the, hold on, let me look at the box. The Mons Geek M1 V5. TMK. I think that acronym at the end is important. And it has a dead zone. It's one of the keyboards that in its software has like a dead zone setting, and that is actually very important. If you do not have the dead zone set to like above 0.03 millimeters, it's going to be too sensitive, and it's just going to detect inputs you aren't pressing. Right now I have top and bottom dead zone to 0.04. The most sensitive it can get for press and release is 0.1 millimeters. I have 0.12 millimeters press and 0.1 millimeter release. And on keys that are adjacent to like my movement keys, like escape, tab, caps lock, shift, control, alt, function key, enter, and in my case, the end key is right above the right arrow. So that also, I have that set to almost maximum actuation distance because I don't want to accidentally press those. I should do it on the Windows key too, because I don't want to accidentally press the Windows key. That'll be harder to accidental press, but it's still possible. Let me do that real quick. I think I want to experimentally... I'm going to try and make... I'm going to set my actuation to 0.1. I'm going to see if that's too sensitive. It has rapid trigger option, but that is, you can choose to either like have the press and release be like independent, but universal, or do rapid trigger. And I can't remember right now like what the difference really means. There is a distinction. You can make the rapid trigger more sensitive, is one thing. But anyways. Doesn't know my own keyboard. Well, I don't... This has a weird name. It's not, like, as memorable. But the main reason I bought this is because it's, like, identical to the 80HE. It's technically better because it has quadruple scan rate. So it's like absolutely outputting my physical input perfectly. Like I don't have to worry about it in that respect. And it has 3.5 travel distance instead of 4.0, which anything below 4.0 I'm a huge fan of. If we can get a keyboard with 3mm travel distance, but with like the bulky keys, not these flat, stupid keycaps, please and thank you. I would love it forever. The Bloody B820 wasn't an optical or analog Hall effect, whatever, switch at all. Like, they didn't use switches like that. But that was still, it's still like my second favorite all-time keyboard. Just because of the 3mm. Like, oh my god, that keyboard is so good. But, okay. I'm simply addicted to the challenge of this attack. The fact that I can't solve it makes me grip tighter and get more obsessed. Or let me try Truffle's idea again. Is that kind of like it? No, middle. Okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm supposed to move. Whoops, wrong thing. Am I always able to beat that like that? Honestly, I understand that, Litmus. When I just winged it fully every time and did not have any strategic structure of dodging, like, it is pretty reactable. I don't think I'm gonna do it this way. There's no way that's consistent. But there are certain pattern layouts you can get where reacting is incredibly difficult without some, like, greater subconscious understanding or reading ability, able to see the snipe bullets coming to get you from far away at high speed. And it's especially worse when they're, like, masked by the mass of bullets that are still yet to come. A strat I haven't revisited is just simply dodging around the box, like, almost as fast as possible as soon as the first couple bullets turn red, but not strictly dodging around the edges, more so dodging around, like, outlining the pattern. But to add another clause, not strictly outlining the pattern, like, depending on how big the bullets are / how soon they're going to turn red, I might have to cut and do, like, a smaller outline instead of, like, the true outline, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna turn full screen back on. I'm not liking the windowed mode at this juncture. Okay. And I pressed 2 by accident. Real ones play on windowed. I'm not a real. Hey, Railer. I had to pick something new to play. Or like listen to, because now it's just on autoplay. Okay, I know we like that music. But I wanted different. Weeb music go. Do I have weeb music within reach? I don't know that I do. I got something that's like the closest to weeb music, but I don't know if Syntheon can be considered. Later, Litmus. I'm now remembering that, like, moving earlier actually can work out better. I know, it's been so long. The time goes by too quick. I think what I'm doing now and semi-winging it going around the box is I'm gonna go back to doing that. That's when dodging it that way without like a super structured plan, more than just like trying to go around the box as many times as I can, obviously not doing so when I am prevented from it. That's when I got 50 times in a row. Patterns I've been getting, or at least the ways I've been handling them as well, seem pretty good so far, but they might just be good patterns. Yeah, for some reason, like, starting to tap up as the first bullets change seems like a good time to do it. Like, don't floor it yet, but starting to get some motion. I don't know what I thought that bullet was gonna... I thought it was gonna turn and I'd have space to move where I ended up getting hit by. Like, I thought it was gonna target me and I'd get space that way. I just gotta know when I don't have time to cut past. I wish... That's kind of what's got me thinking of other strategies in the first place, is that doing the long way like this, so many times I can almost beat every bullet and do a full wrap around the box, but many times it's too tight, or I literally can't beat the bullets coming from top left and going straight in the bottom right corner. But if I just went slower, okay, you know what it is? I think I need to intentionally move slow downward as well on the right wall. That is something that I don't do. So on both vertical... Yeah, on the left and the right wall, when I do the vertical movements, I need to make those slow. Like, yeah, sure, in general, like, making all the movements as slow as possible is good, but I think blitzing across decreases the bullet density quite effectively most of the time. And moving slow... What the fuck? Yeah, see, I need to, like, I need to have some patience. The problem is I want to, like, be in the best spot as soon as possible so that the pattern doesn't begin in a suboptimal way. But if there's those stupid diamonds left over and they're, like, masking a bullet and I just run into it like that, I can't be having that, obviously. Going slow is for sure most important at the beginning. But begin the tap moving as the first bullet, like after the first bullets start to change. And you can almost full speed it for the rest of, like for the rest of the attack on every pattern. Can't on everything, but if I can remember, I think it's always good to slow down going vertically on the... or moving down vertically on against the right wall. I don't know if as late as possible. Like, I'm gonna try that again. I'm not sure if that is the best. I'll try it with this. Because when I move as late as possible, that seems to make it to where I need to like rush the entire thing, and it makes me have to like react to like more difficult things maybe. Whereas I seem to have like more flexibility and ability to like to transpose my first thought of dodging path. Sometimes like I have to, it turns into a panic situation and the first idea I had actually turns out isn't gonna work. And if I start moving earlier and get more centralized, that's so many words to explain, but I think it might be better to like start slightly moving only right after, like after the first bullets change instead of waiting for the bullets to almost hit me. Let me try again though. Let me keep going. I'm not sure if my ideas are correct here, and I'm not articulating them the best. I don't know if I can have the best of both worlds where I start tap moving right as stuff is about to hit me, because there's a great possibility that the bullets below me or to my left are going to be incoming in like half a second and are going to be in direct line with where I'm going to move. I guess it's not worse per se. I'm still spreading out the pattern nicely, but I'm not giving myself the most time and space, ironically, when waiting the longest. I don't know. Welcome back, Cardawiz. That's true, I should try the final. I need a mind cleanser. But I think I need to get it... I need to get comfortable with the idea of genuinely playing this attack for, like, just making an entire full session of just this. Or almost just this, exclusively. There should be breaks in between. It is important. Mainly for like processing purposes. The more you just do the same thing over and over again, you kind of get numb to experiencing or processing it. I already used that word, but okay. I haven't tried the final in a while. Oh, I haven't had a bad pattern where I didn't clutch the tight dodge in a while. I was hoping it was going to be a bad pattern, and I thought I was just going to dodge it, but that made me less confident that I'll be able to dodge every bad pattern. This is the final attack. Stars 3 is the one I was doing over and over, if I'm understanding you correctly. Or I don't know how long ago you asked those. Oh, can I not select the final attack anymore? It sometimes bugs out, and I can't. Okay, yeah, I've lost the final attack privileges, that's fine. The sad thing is you can't, I don't think, avoid potential tight patterns for the ending. Or for the ending of the first half of the final attack. I could be using my turn counter to maybe make myself take this more seriously. I don't know. These past occasions I haven't really cared to. More trying to focus on the minutia. Hey, thank you, Truffle. Thanks for your feedback and attempts at helping out while I'm trying to work this out. I don't know if there really is something to figure out. I think what I'm doing right now is what I've trended towards for the most amount of time doing this, and it seems to net the most success, but it can still like have seeming... I cannot avoid sketchy looking situations ultimately, I think is the truth. But if I can give myself the most distance and the most time to see the bullets coming, which going wide around the box at the right rate tends to like make happen. I forgot how I started the sentence, so I can't finish it. So hopefully my thought was clear where that was going. Anyways, see ya. Basically, going wide around the box at the proper speed should give me the most time to react and see hazards coming. Dodging in any other manner that is still equally effective only really happens because I have like intuition or I just happen to do the right thing. This seems like the most flexible. And maybe gives the best chances for success. Because I would say at the key moment of the bullets transitioning, I'm in probably the best spot I could be in the box, which is like the middle left-ish. But bullets start targeting me in the bottom left as opposed to immediately in the middle left. Okay. I'll try an attempt or two. Probably call it for now. Oh wait, I need to unmute it. Sorry. Thanks, 5 stars. Almost quit the game, and then looked at the turn counter because I knew it was wrong, and got hit. The funny thing about this challenge ever happening is that I can almost guarantee nobody's gonna watch the entire video. I wouldn't watch the whole video. I love this fight. But, well, I might watch my whole video back once, at least. Or, what am I saying? Probably at most. But, I mean, it is so repetitive. Why would anyone watch the whole thing? Other than to, like, verify there's no splice or funny business or something. Maybe I could make some, like, highlight timestamps in a pinned comment or something for, like, my favorite dodges. I'd have to do that immediately after doing the challenge, probably after, like, making the description. Yeah, an hour is quite a bit of time. That is very true. There are sorrows to strat finding, disappointments to be had. The good times are worth it, for sure. I've gone past 30 minutes a while ago, couple times. Best of luck on the boss. I hope you have some fun. Welcome back, Truffle. It's true. I missed a number. I was in such a awkward position. I need to find a good way to sit because I'm like this sounds like the biggest cope, but like I'm so uncomfortable. Like my chair isn't uncomfortable, but it's like I can't find a height, a distance, a positioning of my arms, the keyboard, like I don't know. I just moved right into the bullets though. I was hoping I would get to 100. I'm gonna go again. I could have got to 100. I was getting nervous too early. Like, I shouldn't be getting nervous until like 70% probably. Realistically, like, this is really long. But you cannot control that, unfortunately. The only way to improve it is to get far consistently enough to where you stop. Like you just go numb to the earlier nerves and then they get delayed later. You have to like get farther and farther and the nerves will get delayed more and more. I mean, I've done offhanded like sessions of this on stream before, but I would say this is the proper beginning of me consistently playing this. I don't know why, like in practice, box splitter, I can do like so consistent, but then in a run, it's like my reaction time is delayed. Or like the longer the run goes on, the more my reaction time gets delayed or my visual processing gets like jammed somewhat. And that's definitely like I got tangled in some manner and that made me instinctually move into the bullets there. I need to do a double take every single... I have plenty of time. When it's not holding X, I have plenty of time to move out of the way. I don't need to frame one skirt past the bullets on box splitter. Like, I could stay against the wall for a significant period of time before. Like, all I need to do to stay in control, really, is to start moving back towards center before the wall starts collapsing in. Because that's what makes... Anyway, I don't need to explain more. But... even... I could tell things were off, though, because even tracking swords is feeling a bit awkward. I wish I could feel more comfortable, but there's kind of no way for it to. And I mean, I'm handling it in the simplest way I can. I just start to get nervous when I get a little too close to the edges. Even though I know I'm not supposed to be able to get hit by the tracking swords if I'm moving 45 degrees to them and I'm within a soul width's distance from the edge. Like, there's no... if that makes sense. Like, assume... yeah, if I'm within... or if I'm farther than a soul's distance from the edge of the box, I should always be able to dodge by committing to a 45-degree angle of whatever tracking sword. But it's felt like I've gotten hit at times when I wasn't that close. But it might be because I moved diagonal at like a bad time slightly and I just didn't notice. I don't know. I don't even need to think about that. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick and go again. And then I'll decide like how much longer I'm gonna go. Okay. Oh, that's a question from minutes ago. Oh. I don't have any... I mean, obviously I can't unequip default equipment or default weapons from the other characters, but I don't have any armor equipped. Especially nothing that, like, affects... The only thing that would be of significance would be, what, Silverwatch? That could give me an advantage to shorten turns. But I'm not using any armor, anything that would affect... Actually, I'm going to get hit on purpose. I'm going to switch to the Chris piano medley for the music. Which I believe repeats like 5 times and some change. Actually, no, I don't... That... If it's 8 minutes... 7 times. Over 7 times. As of right now, I'm feeling pretty good about the sitting posture. Okay, forget it. I won't do the holding X. I guess I'm out of practice with it to where I can't, like, fluidly do it anymore. Begrudgingly, I will do the regular movement. I just need to not... It's easier to get... or to lose sight and get too close to an edge and get hit because of that. Fuck. Let me watch that back. I think I just needed to move sooner to be able to reach the gap. I hesitated too much. Pretty sure it was dodgeable. No, I didn't even see the chat message. Not even lying. Oh my god, okay. So okay. Nah, there was ample opportunity. Look at this. There's ample opportunity, but it's the exact type of situation where I would not notice the closest gaps. Can I show the monitor? Can I select the monitor? Please. Thank you. So the actual gap was like directly below me. Why was... Hold on, go back a little bit. Oh, did it just like end immediately? The recording like cuts short before, like it cuts like a second or two before I actually press the button to stop recording. So I always forget that. Oh, I actually could have sat still, I'm pretty sure. And I just didn't notice that. I saw, I think, the gap here, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta move to that immediately. But then I was questioning if I could make this. I could have, actually, if I held the diagonal perfect. And you saw me go for it, but then I decided against it. I'm like, wait, no. Oh, no, I did go for it. But the hesitation was that I continued right instead of, like, trying to line myself up with the gap proper. But the correct gaps to go into were this one. I would never naturally go up like that. But I think I'm forgetting a key aspect of dodging this. Seeing the gaps in the red, like between the red lines, is easy, but I need to look at the orientation of the swords. That is the most important thing, because there's always a good gap right next to the tip of a sword. Pretty much. With no exception. I have not thought about that fact in a while. But this is clearly the one I should have gone to. Anyways, and if I reacted fast enough, I'm pretty sure I could have made it to this. Well, I don't know. How soon did I move? I moved pretty quick. If I stuck it right, if I didn't do the diagonal BS, like, I would have made it. I would have made it maybe like a frame or two, but I would have made it. Anyways, okay. I think I am done for the day. I shall be back tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll stop before I get 100 turn streak. And I'll probably do a decent bit of practice as well again, just to see where my consistency's at. But yeah, that was okay. That was an improvement from yesterday. But I know I can play better. I know I can get better. And yeah, like I know, I feel like I'm this close to ironing out mistakes or potential for mistakes, but it's not quite actualizing yet. I'll likely start earlier. There's no way I'm gonna stream this late tomorrow because I'll have work in the morning. So I might even stream as soon as like 12 hours from now. That's pretty soon. So that would be like the earliest. Don't hold your breath on that one. No pun intended. But tomorrow afternoon Pacific time at some point, perhaps more so in the evening. I don't know. I don't really plan it in advance so strictly. I just decide like I'm going to stream today or I'm going to stream on a day, and I figure out the time on the day. So I'm sorry if you want to catch the stream. I'm just not a schedule guy, at least right now. And the video will be forever, and the runs will be long. But I would say tomorrow, and I'm in Pacific time. But tomorrow afternoon / evening, I'll do at least a couple hour session. Okay, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.